Hi y'all, this is Daisy Cakes, and I'm just finishing up the skincare video live because I had a problem. The Stalker went through, I told you a little bit about skincare. I told you about heredity, behavior, cleansing, moisturizing, clarifying, and the barrier methods for taking care of your skin in weird weather. And I also, one of those was sunscreen. And in sunscreen, I was talking about my different experiences with, I tried to fill it with little anecdotes about my life. And I tried to fill it with an anecdote about my life with sunscreen. And the stalker cut it out completely and wouldn't let me post it, which is really strange. And you notice how they're kind of trying to make me sort of beige color? This is porcelain makeup I have on right now, y'all. I don't know what is with them. It's like craziness. And if you watch, it's the same. I haven't changed my makeup all day. So it's the same makeup. It's so funny. And they make my teeth yellow. Isn't that weird? They're not yellow, y'all. They're white. But they don't want you to think highly of me. They're my teeth. Little chippies. But I wanted you to know about sunscreen from me. So I really try. Move this away. I don't know about ring lights, so I think I'm supposed to be behind it. I'm in front of it. So hold on. There. Okay. Let me turn this up. Get this all ready. You can watch all the fun. But I just don't want the stalker to delete it this time because they actually went through and deleted a bunch of my videos. Or maybe it's coding. I can't tell. But they wanted me to have weird coding so that I would not be able to see what they were up to on my YouTube channel. It's so frustrating. It's like this guy is Napoleon. Like he's king. Like the alcoholic. Like the Al-Anon book talks about alcoholics act like, King Baby with all the answers. They actually say that in the book. And it says that they, they do whatever they want and they just ask. They don't care who they hurt. They think that they're totally justified in whatever they're doing, and they don't really ask anyone, for anything at all, as far as like evaluation or second opinions or critiques or if they're doing the right thing. And if they get caught, then they get totally upset, which I'm going to do a video on as well. As far as I want to do a series on subbing too, and I want to do a series about like trying to control behavior, because this is what I'm talking about. You can't control another person's behavior entirely. All you can do is teach them the impact of their behavior on you when they act insane, because this is not a mentally healthy person that we're talking about. Neither one of these people, none of these people are, as far as the group I've been talking to you about recently. Not the recovery group, but the actual people living here from my old town. And one of the things that they think that they can do is edit my videos and block them and stuff. And if they can't, then they try to make me look ridiculous with the yellow teeth or the red nose, which I also don't have, and all these other things. And that's silly, because I'm an actual living person, and you can meet me if you want to. You certainly have enough information about me to meet me if you want to. And it's really, really easy to dispel these kinds of insane things that they talk about, as far as I'm concerned, which is sad. For example, I asked that the guy's daughter not deliver my DoorDash, and he actually went in and tried to delete it so that she started trying to be my driver again. And she lives here, or she seems to be around here an awful lot. And it's almost like he's saying that he doesn't want her to go into the wide world and be with the general public, which is the whole point of working in restaurants. If you've ever worked in restaurants, you want your kids to work in restaurants for at least 6 months, because it's important to go out and be in the public, right? They're public places where people go, and they're not like vetted people that come in, and you get to see all kinds of different kinds of people. And it's amazing to get this chance to work with the general public. And I like that. And so when I'm a consumer, I insist on being helped by a numerous amount of people. Way more than just a few people. I don't want the same. He wants to make sure that the same 2 people show up at my door all the time. And I don't want them on my background check. And I don't want them to have anything to do with me. And I don't want to talk to them. And I don't want to give them my tips. And I don't want to have anything to do with them. And I've tried to not make it personal and say that she looks quote unquote like my attacker, but allegedly. But I can't keep making it impersonal when they keep forcing the issue, because they could order DoorDash and have her be their driver if they wanted to. But for some reason, they want to force me to do it, which doesn't make any sense, but then they're not mentally healthy. So then I have to make it a bigger deal than I'd like to, and I hate to do that. So any advice you have on that one, let me know. Because it's not just DoorDash, it's also Walmart or anything where I have to spend money. They want to be in the way of the money so they can have some of it. But anyway, hopefully I made that clear now. Anyway, the other thing is that they cut out any mention of recovery from my videos, which is sad because I just celebrated my 11th year in AA, which is great. And I have a whole bunch of exciting things to say. And I've been to a lot of different meetings in 11 years. Now, I wasn't in actual meeting going for the first, I think almost 2 years of recovery. Well, at least the first year I didn't go to recovery meetings because I tried to white knuckle it at home. But I was absolutely sober ever since by the grace of God, since the 4th of November, 2012. Which is so crazy, but it still is true. And it's really funny because I don't know when my actual sobriety date is, as I opined really angrily in one of the videos. I went one of the big drunks. I had a lot of big drunks in November 2012, okay? And at the beginning of December, a little bit at the end of October, kind of all the time. But I had a really big one after running a half marathon with my ex-friend now, who is having an affair with my husband, which is really frustrating. But anyway, I got a shirt and a medal, and the stalker, one of my stalkers, stole my medal. Medals, plural. But I still had the shirt, right? But they stole the shirt too, and that's the only way I know what day it was, because it was originally scheduled for somewhere right around the 11th of November. The 4th of November, I mean. It wasn't the 11th, because that's Veterans Day, and it wasn't the 18th, and it wasn't the 25th, because that's Thanksgiving. And I'm not even sure it's a Saturday at this point. But anyway, so I don't remember it at all. I remember running on River Road for a lot of it in New Braunfels. And I remember it being about the Chosen, the adoption foundation. That's amazing. I love that idea so much. And anyway, maybe it was the 18th. I'm not sure. But anyway, I can't remember. So the point is, the only way I know what my real sobriety date is, well, that's not my real sobriety date either, but it's closer. So I kind of go off of the 4th of November because it's election day, and that's kind of like a day that I like. So anyway, very funny. So that's hilarious. And then what else? Oh, so I started going to meetings, and I went to a lot of meetings. I'll talk to you about that in another video. But half of the meetings I went to after the first 7 years were walking meetings. And it looks like somebody actually put I put Vaseline on my nose. Remember to show you that thing? And I think it actually made me react a little bit, which is fine. But just, try to ignore the glow. So, I went to a bunch of meetings, and half of my meetings I had to walk to because I didn't have a car, because I had 2 teenage daughters, and they were both learning to drive, and they both usually had the cars, mostly. Or the gas was being rationed for their activities because they had to travel a lot because they were in high school, and I wanted to be able to bring them things on an emergency basis. I didn't have money for gas. I had to ration gas. Have you ever been in that situation? If you have, let me know. I'm sure you remember how fun that is. So I walked everywhere that was within 3 miles of where I had to be. And one of those places was AA meetings, and it was really nice. There's a meeting in Kyle on Sledge Avenue. It's like this little half street by a church, and I loved it. And it was a really nice meeting, and it was kind of a peaceful walk. I walked there. I would walk to the cafe where I used to work and do my daily readings and write my little journal for my sponsor, and then I would walk to, or Starbucks, and then I would walk to the meetings, which was 2 miles away from there, and then I would walk to my home, which was like 2 miles away from there. And this is all in the heat of the day because it was like 1,000 degrees outside, and I would have to use a spray sunscreen. So I would use spray sunscreen, and I really liked it. And it's from H-E-B at $7.99, and it's the cheapest stuff you can get. Waterproof, banana boat, kids, 100 SPF sunscreen. The first ingredient is alcohol, which normally I wouldn't recommend. Look, see this? That's like hyperpigmentation. The Stalker must have that because I don't have that on my thing. I have a little cat bite mark right here, but I don't have that. I get the feeling that this guy wants to ruin my looks because someone ruined his looks. But they probably ruined his looks because he's not a nice person. And I am a nice person. And unfortunately, God usually helps people that live okay. You know, the downside is you don't get to have a whole lot of fun. But God usually helps people by, you know, giving them the gift of clear skin. So I'm not really sure what's going on there. I don't want his problems, is what I'm saying. But anyway, so I would use the banana boat sunscreen. It's a lot of alcohol, and you spray it on your face, you spray it on your body, you spray it under your clothes. So before you get dressed, you spray it on and let it dry all over. And that way, even your clothes move around, because I would wear, you know, walking around clothes, so they would be sundresses and stuff. And it would help me not get sunburned. I don't think I got sunburned hardly ever in that summer. And it was a few summers. And also I used it for a lot of things, and evidently it worked, which is nice. Although, remember, it takes 20 years for sun damage to show up. So maybe in 10 more years when we talk, I'll show it then. But that'll be okay. So far, no ill effects from that cheap sunscreen. I highly recommend it. It's PABA free, which is the only kind of sunscreen that I can use because I'm kind of allergic to parabens. And also, I use zinc oxide based sunscreens, like I've already said, on my face. The majority of the time, usually from, let's look at the cat, usually from Mary Kay, and from Alme, Neutrogena. They all kind of have sunscreens they're opaque, that have sun blocking properties, and they have oxide in them. But not all of them do. There's one that partners with Oil of Olay and the foundation that looks like it has oxide in it, but it doesn't. So, and if you can put any kind of SPF on your skin, we all need different things. All of us have different skin. So I'm just talking to the small subset of people that is A, older, B, poor, and C, A, older, B, poor, and C, has the need to wear some of these things under their skin. And if you don't, you can just omit that part of the discussion. It's possible that because I'm mixed, the stalker doesn't like me talking about sunscreen. I don't know what that would be. Because honestly, you know, a lot of people have different kinds of skin, and mixed people have their own skin needs that are different from anybody else's. So that's just how that goes. Anyway, like I said, I have red hair. I'm allergic to henna, so it's rare. This lipstick is bright red. It's called Red Revolution by Maybelline. I don't know if I can put my hand on it right now. No. I love Maybelline lipstick because of how it feels on my face, so that's what I usually choose. I would say that's 75% of my lipsticks, because that way if it gets off, I don't cry. But I do love this one because my daughter gave it to me, and it means a lot to me. But anyway, it's bright red, and like this color red. So I don't know why it's pink right now. And I did my daughter gave it to me because she knows that I love red. What she didn't know is that I'm actually allergic to red dye 40. And so I do avoid that as well. But that's okay. Not everybody is and I'm not fussy at all about anything. I just sort of avoid things as much as possible that I need to avoid without making a big deal out of it. I have friends that love Cetaphil and Physoderm, and every time I tell them, I can't wear it, I can't use it, they get really upset. They're like, but it's, it's so nice. And I'm like, well, try it on my skin. So they'll put it right here and it'll just break out all over the place in little red dots. I don't know why. But that's okay. So, hopefully that makes more sense for you. Because I know you're probably thinking, where's the sunscreen talk? And I don't want you to think I'm omitting it because that's obnoxious. And I can't believe a Stalker cut it out because it was such a cohesive sort of part of my discussion. And it's really important to me that you understand that. The Stalker did put his face in my video a lot. But remember, I've already made this video 3 times. So whereas I was having audio troubles because he kept turning off the audio, he had 3 drafts of it to practice. Which is why sometimes you'll see a delay in the audio, is not only because of the Zoom microphone, but also because he's, talking at the same time. But less this video. And I have to show you the attack that he did on me when I was sitting in this chair, y'all. I don't know what's with this guy. I don't know how to explain to you how weird it is. It's like people, deinstitutionalization was a great thing for this country because it helped us all see that, our family members were our responsibility to care for up until their death for the whole 100 years of their lives, that we're responsible. And I mean, that was a great thing. Before, people were just parking people like daycares into the institutions and they weren't ever getting out. And that's terrible. Because a lot of times, women were called hysterical because they would speak out against things, or men were called, what would you call it, like stupid, because they wouldn't do what they were told, or they had honest, clear objections to something. Or kids were called impossible because they wouldn't obey their parents, or the parents wanted to move and they couldn't take the kids with them, or whatever. And they were just thrown in these institutions. That's why they did it, deinstitutionalization in the first place, which is obviously a big soapbox for me because of special ed. However, I've never really told people that I like it. I usually kind of sound like I'm almost against it. And I don't know if that's why they're inflicting all these people on me now, or why they're using... It's like they followed me up here. I don't even know. Like when I was going to sell my house, I had a 4-bedroom, 1,700 square foot house that I really liked. And my first goal was to give it to my kids while I went and got an apartment in the city and had them pay me like nominal rent and rent out the other 2 bedrooms to their other friends. So they would have 4 bedrooms full of friends and a full kitchen, backyard, living room, 2 dining rooms, and, big 2 bathrooms, big bathrooms, soaking tubs, separate shower, to have their fun in, right? Laundry room, garage. And that didn't work out because they wanted to come up here and go to school. So then the next plan was to turn it into like a sober house for highly vetted people that would be safe to have my kids be around, that wanted to live near an elementary school and, have 1 bedroom. This 4-bedroom house. So 1 bedroom for the adults, 1 bedroom for their children, 1 bedroom for adults, 1 bedroom for their children, right? So like 2 family space to live in, to share, to be able to live in. And then I would live in an apartment, and I would just basically rent the house out to those kinds of people. So I don't even think I mentioned that plan to anybody, y'all, but for some reason someone has up and moved up here to kind of harass me with people that are mentally ill, which is sad because when I was a teacher, there were occasionally doubts in my mind. There were rumors going around that there were kids that were known to be difficult that were foisted on teachers that were Black. And I can't really address that in this particular video, but I can say that it sort of feels that way now, except for that I'm not teaching. So it seems like they've kind of foisted this guy on me. Sorry, but they foisted this guy on me to sort of like imitate me, either for financial gain, to annoy me, or just to harass me for no reason, really, because I'm a woman. But remember, it's like blackmail, because if you do what they want, they won't necessarily stop, and that's terrible, y'all. I don't ever give in to terrorists. I don't negotiate with them. There's nothing that they have that I want. There's no behavior that they could replace with this behavior that would make me want to have a relationship with them in any way, shape, or form. And so I don't really worry about it, because, we're separate individuals living a free, separate life. And my behavior doesn't need to change. So it's difficult. They created this little battle for this kind of fight about his daughter coming to my door, which is crazy, because I'm allowed to say, please don't come to my door. It's my dollar, and I'd rather not have you as my DoorDash driver. Respectfully, not because of your performance as a DoorDash driver, but just because you look just like my attacker, and it's upsetting to me, and it always will be. And, that's fine, because there's 1,000 other DoorDash drivers in the city that are really, really great that I've had before he got this bee in his bonnet. I had 100 DoorDash drivers that were excellent, that I had never gave a bad review to. I've never given a bad review on DoorDash ever. And it was, not a problem to interact with the general public in that way, until someone saw the opportunity to bogart all those tips for themselves. And that's what started happening, and that's what we're trying to, arrest now, which is so funny. It's very difficult. But I don't know. Anyway, so I wanted to say thank you for watching, and like and subscribe, and continue paying attention to, all the things that was just something very near and dear to my heart. Remember, this, what you're seeing on my face right now, is kind of an allergic reaction from the red dye, but it's also malware from the Stalker. So try not to let it bother you. It's not meant to be ironic. It's just the way it is right now. The cat's attacking my feet. And I love y'all, and I wish y'all the best. Look for the Stalker in the makeup video, because he's going to be showing up soon. So he had already inserted himself occasionally, but much less, I think. So maybe I'll do an analysis video of that other video and put that one to rest for today, because I really like the skincare video. I think it turned out great. And I have a supplement video that I want to do for y'all, and that's not to detract from the Daisy Cakes and Snowman show. It's just because those are my soapboxes that I love. And anyone that knows me knows that I love talking about skincare, talking about supplements, talking about health, and also debunking some myths, because I'm not altogether sure that supplements are important, but they sure have worked lately for me. Because, see, I got rid of the air pollution by moving here, because the air here is so wonderful, and I got rid of the diet issues by going vegetarian for. Sorry, hold on one second. I got rid of the diet issues by going vegetarian for like 4 years, which was great. And then I went on water, because my stomach couldn't tolerate milk after I stopped drinking. And I didn't want to drink Diet Coke because it was a mixer. So then I stopped drinking that for like 5 years. And all of those things also, that's the noise of me hitting this, okay? That time that wasn't the Stalker. But it's very important to me, all these things. You can't necessarily do all those things in your life, which is fine. That's why I gave you instructions on how to avoid, air pollution and things in your daily life. Don't worry that it's going to make your skin break out, okay? Because that's why you do a patch test, to see if it's going to make your skin break out. On me, it didn't make my skin break out. That's not what's doing this. It's obviously probably malware, I would guess. So I love y'all, and I wish y'all the best, and stay safe, and good luck. Bye.